Hey guys, it's your girl Vicky from Adventures and Vlogs with the Jacksons, and today I am here. I know you guys can see the kids in the back. They're currently playing the game, Super Mario's or something like that, and I'm currently cooking. So tonight we're going to have wings. I am making a teriyaki wing, a spicy wing. I think it's just buffalo, and then I'm just going to do a regular plain wing. The kids are having breakfast for dinners. What they opted for: confetti pancakes, cheese eggs, and sausage. So me and Dad are just having chicken. And he's gonna have macaroni and cheese. I'm just gonna have chicken and probably broccoli. I really don't like macaroni and cheese anymore, so yeah. But I'm coming to you guys today just to check in and let you guys know how my week went, and to also talk about Little Fires Everywhere. It's a dope show, and I just want to let you guys know so far what's going on. But to kick it off, I will be putting pictures at the end of how my food turned out. I know I haven't done a cooking video. Honestly, I haven't cooked wings in I haven't fried wings in a long time. Rashid asked for fried wings. Mine is going to be baked in the oven, well, in the air fryer. So that's how I'm making my wings. I'll probably have like 2 or 3 regular fried wings, but we'll see. But this week has been a little stressful. I'm getting through it. I hope you guys are getting through it. I hope things get back to normal pretty quick. It's kind of boring in the house most of the time, and then all of the I want to say all the Walmarts have like lines out of this world, so I get in there pretty late and try to just grab what I need for the night or for the next few nights and get out of there. So I haven't been able to do any grocery hauls or anything like that. There goes Kamani. Hey, Mani. Hey. So yeah, the kids have been in the house bored, and then they drive me crazy once I get home from work. So that's hey Kareem. So yeah, that's how it's been going, trying to find different things for them to do. Just trying to find fun and creative things to do, and that's about it. I am still currently working, guys. My job is like, hey man.
Hi. Can we get cookies?
You gotta eat first. So okay, guys, so I am back with a different view because the kids were like eating and playing and all types of stuff that they do. But anyway, so yeah, this TV show me and Rashid has been watching has been pretty good. So I believe it's on episode, it's either 5 or 6. I'm not totally sure, but I've been watching it since it first came out, and then it comes on every Wednesday on Hulu. So hopefully they do pick this TV show back up because it's getting really good. So I believe the next episode would be on Wednesday. But so far how it starts out is Kerry Washington and her daughter Pearl. Basically, I want to say that they're running. This is how it just starts out. They're outside, but it looks like they're sleeping in her car, and the daughter is sleeping. Kerry Washington is basically she's circling things and looking at like places in the ad, in the newspaper. And Reese Witherspoon's character, she's riding past and she sees them. Then she gets to work, and basically she's like, oh, she calls the police and it reports that they're sleeping in their car. So there you go. Not too long after that, she gets a call that someone wants to look at her place, and it happens to be Kerry Washington, which was like, oh, she's like, oh. So Kerry Washington lets her know that she's an artist because she asked what kind of work does she do. She's like, I'm an artist. The place that she got was beautiful. It was like really nice, and it was only $300 a month, which was, I'm like, oh my god, I wish I could get that now. But it was like $300 a month. Mind you, the show takes place back in like the 80s and 90s. So yeah. she rents her out this place. She gave her like a false previous landlord or whatever. And for whatever reason, Reese Witherspoon's character is like driving me nuts because she is so nosy. Like, she's very, very nosy. And, she's like, oh, she just feels like something is wrong, or feels like she has to look into this lady's background for whatever reason. I do not know what made her do this, but she just automatically is like, she wants to look into this lady's background for whatever reason. So that happens. Kerry Washington's daughter, I keep calling her Kerry Washington because I can't remember her name. I think it's Mia. It might be Mia. I think so. I'll double check. But yeah, so her daughter becomes friends with Reese Witherspoon's character's son, named Moody. They were really, really good friends. They hung out all the time and stuff. And then we get another transition where um, Moody likes Moody likes Pearl, which is Reese Witherspoon's daughter again. And Moody is I'm sorry, Kerry Washington's daughter is Pearl, and Reese Witherspoon's daughter is son is Moody, and he starts liking her. And at first, you would think that she liked him too, but then we get this weird transition where she starts liking the other brother. I think his name is Tip. I'll double check on that as well. I think his name is Tip. Sorry guys. Because it comes on every Wednesday, I forget all of their names and stuff like that. So next time I'll be writing things down so I can, flow with it a little bit better. But yeah, so she starts liking him, and then she starts hanging with one of her daughters, which is one of the Reese Witherspoon has a daughter who kind of reminds her of her, like, oh, she can't wait to go to Spelman or Harvard, whatever the hell, and she dates this black guy who's a football player. She's the cheerleader, things like that. She becomes friends with her because her daughter stole Pearl's she wrote out something because for whatever reason this teacher was giving her a hard time and would not let her take algebra 2 because he felt like she moved a lot, and that she went to three different previous high schools, and he feels like, oh, you might have not learned a lot, so he wanted to put her at the basic algebra, and she's like, no, I deserve to be an algebra 2, this is why, and everything like that. So she wrote out a kind of like an essay, almost like just explaining like her hardships and why she should be in algebra 2. So she went to Reese Witherspoon's house, and she was like, hey, can you listen to what I wrote out to get in algebra 2? So it's kind of like that dynamic of I hate to say it, whites are better, black is, it's in that area, in that era of where they consider, they look down on colored folks or whatever. So I guess that's why he also was telling her no. So as soon as Reese Witherspoon, she's like, oh no, I'm going to go up there and talk to this guy. This is totally unfair. She goes up there and talks to him, and he changes the class with no problem. Now, Pearl's mom, which is Kerry Washington, does not like Reese Witherspoon because she just feels like, oh, you look down on me. Which she kind of does. So, Pearl has been spending a lot of time at, Reese's house. She's like, telling her things, and she's like, oh, my mom works nights. So, once Reese Witherspoon saw Kerry Washington at her job where she's a waitress at a little Chinese store, Chinese restaurant, and she basically asked her, can she be her maid? And I think she had the best intentions when she asked her that, but it came off totally wrong. She thought it would just be a little bit better so she didn't have to work nights. So Kerry Washington told her no. She went home and she told her daughter Pearl she is no longer able to go over to Reese Witherspoon's house, and her daughter was very upset. And she's like, you can't keep me away from them, things like that. So she continued to hang with Reese Witherspoon's son, Moody. So Kerry Washington ended up taking the job because she wanted to keep an eye out for her daughter because she knows exactly what's going on. And basically when I say exactly what's going on, she knows that these people basically they look down on colored people, you know, and they look at, you know, colored people different than what they would do the typical, you know, Caucasian person. So her mom is just like, you know, trying to keep an eye out for her daughter. So she ended up taking the job of cleaning Reese Witherspoon's house and making dinner for her family and things like that, washing dishes, cleaning clothes. And Kerry Washington ended up becoming close to Reese Witherspoon's youngest daughter named Lizzie or Izzy. So yeah, Izzy. So Izzy is kind of like the outcast child of Reese Witherspoon's. She's like rebelling a little bit. She's like, I'm not the, you know, she's not her sister, which as in that sense, I'm not the little, you know, a goody two shoe. She wants to branch out. She wants to be herself, you know, and she's really interested in drawing and just being herself and outspoken. And I want to say that Reese Witherspoon is like, she doesn't like it. She doesn't see it as a good thing. She sees it as her daughter is rebelling. Her daughter is not interested in going to college. Her daughter is not interested in getting good grades, things like that. So her daughter said, you know, no, like this is what I want to do. So she had a performance because she's in the band at her school, and she had a performance and she wrote really big on her head that I am not your pet. So with permanent markers. So it took a few days for that to come off. But you know, Reese Witherspoon was really upset. So come to find out, her daughter Izzy is having this situation where she's in that stage where she's trying to experience in her sexuality, and she might be gay. Now I'm gonna say might be because it hasn't totally been out there yet, but it's something going on. So hopefully we see that in future episodes if she is gay or not. Moving on from that, Kerry Washington, it goes back because we're trying to understand what is the secrets that are making Kerry Washington, like, she's so paranoid, and she keeps having these dreams of, you know, seeing this guy on the subway and seeing this woman that was holding her. And so this episode, this latest episode, it went back to who these people are. So basically, when Kerry Washington was younger, she has a Jamaican family, so, you know, they're very protective, and they have, you know, set rules, ground rules. So it starts off from, well, the latest episode starts off from, you know, her and her brother are going to two different places. She's going to New York to start her school to become an artist, and her brother is going off to a school for football. So her brother are very close, and the one thing that her parents said was, when you go to New York, to not become a prostitute and not to get on drugs. So she goes to school in New York, and the first thing that happens is she's in a class, and you could tell it was something that she saw in her teacher. Her teacher is a female. And it was just like something about her that drew, you know, her to her teacher. And, you know, her teacher, they were like working one-on-one, and she liked the drawings that, I want to say her name is Mia. I'm going to get that for you guys, but I want to say her name is Mia. So she liked the drawings that Kerry Washington made. So she invited her out to an exhibit at her friend's art gallery. So, it was a lot of nice stuff. And then weirdly, weirdly, I don't even know if this is a thing, like, or at least not in today's ages. So she goes to the exhibit. Her teacher hands her a drink, and I understand it. Don't get me wrong. Not everybody who's in college is fresh out of high school. So everyone might be, of age or not quite yet of age. And she hands her a drink. Okay, they're laughing, they're talking, and then her teacher snorts some stuff, and then she hands it off to Kerry Washington's character, who is her student, and then she does the same thing, and I'm like, what? Like, okay, this is okay. Oh, okay, okay. That happens, and then they continue to work on things together, such as art. But you could tell it was going to a different level. And she's thinking in her head she's not gay. So this guy keeps looking at her on the subway every time she gets on the subway. And then finally one night he has the courage to like run up on her. She turns around with her mace and she's like, back the fuck off. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And weirdly and oddly enough, he asks her, me and my wife are trying to have kids, but she can't have kids. You look just like my wife. Can you have a kid for us? And he's like, here's my card. If that's not the weirdest damn thing I've ever heard in my life, you just walk up to someone and you're just like, me and my wife can't have a kid. Can you have a kid for me? What the, like, what? So I'm guessing this is okay yet again. So she gets a letter in the mail basically stating that she can't afford to stay in school. So she calls the guy who asked her to have a kid for him and his wife. So the next scene is her sitting in front of his wife and himself, and she looks nothing like the wife, might I add. And I want to say the girl who plays Kerry Washington as the younger version of Kerry Washington, she literally has Kerry Washington down pat. Like, she had the crying, the shivering, quivering lips. She had the hairstyle. She had certain things she said sound just like Kerry Washington. So she's great. But she ends up having getting pregnant for them in order to stay in school, because they offered, basically they were going to pay her what she needed to stay in school. So her brother comes down out of nowhere, and he's like, because she's pregnant, and he's like, what's going on? And she's like, this is the reason why I haven't been coming up, for family dinners and things like that, and for holidays, because she's currently pregnant. So they're having a dinner with Kerry Washington's character, Mia, and she's having a dinner with her brother and her art teacher. And her brother mentioned something, and the art teacher stepped in and she grabbed her hand. It was the way she grabbed her hand, and her brother is like, ah. So as he's leaving, he's like, pretty much told her, like, you're gay, you something is going on with you and your teacher. And he also, made the suggestion of her keeping the kid instead of having this baby for them and giving it away. He's like, I feel like you should keep the kid. And he felt like it was a girl. Sure enough, it was a girl. And the reason why she ended up keeping this kid, as we found out why it looks like she's running and sleeping in her car, it's because she kept the kid. She did not give the kid to the father and mother that she was supposed to be having this kid for. The reason why she ended up keeping the kid is because her brother got into an accident, and she came home, and the mom was the parents were very disappointed, and they told her she couldn't even attend her own brother's funeral. So that's so that's what made her keep the child, because she was so upset because her mom literally had the nerve to tell her, you cannot attend your brother's funeral, because that's how upset they were, disappointed in her. So she took her brother's car and she left. She wrote the people a note that said she had a miscarriage, and then she ended up being with her teacher, and her teacher had a problem with, people leaving her in the past, and she promised, because they were together, she would not leave her. But because she couldn't stay in New York, because she was still pregnant and lying about having a miscarriage, she decided to just leave the state all in all. And she told her, like, I'll contact you. I'm just going to. She played it off like she was going to stay at her parents' house, but she completely left. So, finally, she has the baby. She names her Pearl. She gives her her brother's last name. And, she's very happy with the decision that she made. I believe it was in the honor of her brother, and the last thing that her brother said to her was that she should keep the baby. She got to a destination, and she tried to call, her teacher, and let her know, where she was at and how everything is going. Come to find out, the teacher died of cervical cancer. And she was very upset about that. So literally, since having the baby, she has literally just been on the run. I believe she's just been on the run in the fear of that she'll run into at least the actual father of the baby. Now, my whole thing is, she told these people that she had a miscarriage, which she could have just kept on with that. I had a miscarriage. I got pregnant on my own. This is not your child, whatever the case. I feel like leaving and, she just going state to state, state to state. I don't know if these people would, like, as a parent, of course I get it, but it's just like the way that these people went about even having a, child, they didn't know her. They just, so that's their loss, so they can't, I don't know for sure, but I don't think they could actually take legal actions, because everything that they did was like, on their own. It's not like they went through an actual clinic or an adoption agency, anything like that. This guy approached her, and paid her. It wasn't any signed documents or anything like that. So the only thing that I could think in my head was, why run? If anything, okay, now you're my baby dad, like, so I don't know why run, but I'm very anxious to see what's going to happen later on in the season. I hope you guys take a look at it. It's really, really good. I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and hopefully, things start getting back to normal, as I said in the beginning of this video, because this whole quarantine thing is driving me crazy. Well, I'm not technically in a quarantine in my state, because it's a few things that's open, and of course my job is still open. I'm still not working from home. I'm still, in the office every day, 5 days out of the week. So yeah, but I just wish things get back to normal, because it's so hard, it's hard to go food shopping. It's hard to do any type of shopping. Packages are taking forever to come. Online has got even more expensive. So hopefully, things start coming together, because I'm just over it. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you have any suggestions of what I should cook or watch next, please leave your comments down below, and I'll be coming at you guys in the next few days, probably after the next episode of Little Fires Everywhere, so I could be a little bit more on track with that. I want to start giving you guys, the reactions and the videos, like, as it's going, or like right after I watch the episode, so I won't forget as much. But this really is a dope show, guys, so I hope you guys watch it. Again, if you have any suggestions on what I should eat next or watch next, please leave it in the comments down below. Again, this is your girl Vicky from Adventures and Vlogs with the Jacksons.